Hi guys, and welcome to Cutting Edge.
Today we're going to cook something real special. We have here two gigantic beef hammers that we're going to smoke on the pellet smoker.
Look at those babies. That episode is going to be definitely interesting.
First, let's remove the silver skin and get them tied up with butcher's twine so we can get them on the grill.
May the force be with you.
When the rub has set like this, the hammers are ready to go on the grill. We're putting them on the barbecue at 120 degrees centigrade for a couple of hours. We are not looking for temperature right now. We are looking for color and smoke flavor. A couple of hours in, and it's time to spray them to give the surface a bit of moisture. I have in our spray bottle here a mixture of apple cider vinegar and water, 50-50. Let's have a look. Yeah, they need it. So we're just going to spray them down to keep the surface moist. But don't do this too early because then you wash off the rub. There we are. Now we let them smoke while we get started on our sauce. For the sauce, we're going to use our wood-fired stove. It's pretty simple. We're going to take a splash of olive oil on the pan, a good splash, don't be stingy. And then a couple of knobs of butter. And then we let that melt. To that, we're going to add 2 coarsely chopped onions. Oops. We're going to let them brown up. We want them to caramelize. When the onion turns golden, you add a liter of beef broth, 100 ml of dark soy sauce, and a good dash of the barbecue rub we made earlier for the beef. And then let that come up to temperature, and we let it simmer for 10-15 minutes before we wrap the beef. Our sauce has simmered for a good 10 minutes and is ready to add to our roasting pans. I'm going to add a roasting rack to each of the pans. And now we're ready to bring the hammers. They're looking mighty fine, huh? You want to wrap them pretty tight. That one's ready to go, and we have the other one. Gets exactly the same treatment. Now we put them back on the smoker, and then I'm going to put a temperature probe in the thickest part of each one of them so we can monitor. And then I'm going to crank up the temperature to 160 because now we have them wrapped so they're not going to dry out. That's it. We've reached an internal temperature of 96 degrees. Let us just give it a check around. Here I'm actually not checking for temperature, I'm checking for doneness. When it feels like soft butter and it just with no effort, they're perfect. They're ready to come off. That smells good. I need a glove here, that's warm. Don't burn yourself. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. Now I'm going to wrap them individually like this. And then I'm going to place them in my cooler for resting for a good hour before we cut into them. The sauce with the drippings from the meat, we're going to add that to a pan to turn it into a nice gravy. I'm going to put that on the stove. And we're going to bring it to a boil. And now we're going to add a bit of water and 2 tablespoons of corn flour to thicken it up. Like that. And stir that around. And let it thicken so we make it into a nice gravy for our beef. Our gravy has thickened nicely. So let's give it a taste for salt and pepper. It's warm. 2 seconds. It's perfect. Doesn't need anything. It's absolutely perfect. Ready to try?
Yeah, of course, I'm your guinea pig anyway.
That's really soft.
Let's see.
There you go. Nice piece. That looks good. But I'm going to test it with some of the gravy. Because
True.
that needs to go with it.
Let me see the gravy with it. Oh my.
That's perfect.
That's
very
really
good.
delicious. Soft, tender.
You can serve this with rice, mashed potatoes, anything. You can pull it into pulled beef and serve it as pulled beef sandwiches with coleslaw. It's excellent.
Or grilled vegetables. And definitely don't forget a nice red wine.
Cheers.
Cheers.